A tragedy in the artist's house. Ryan was a famous artist. Unfortunately, when he was 60, he had an accident that left him blind. The man hired 3 people to help him: Jason, the driver, Laura, the housekeeper, and Timothy. He looked after the garden. One afternoon, Timothy went to talk to Ryan and found the artist on the floor. Someone had attacked him. The police arrived to investigate. Jason told him he and Ryan had had a great time in the morning playing computer games. Then he left to pick up Ryan's daughter from the airport. Laura said she'd spent all day in the kitchen cooking dinner. And Timothy said that before finding Ryan, he had been at the market choosing new fruit trees for the garden. Who is behind the attack? It was Jason. Ryan was blind and couldn't play computer games. Bizarre guests. When Melissa was traveling around Europe, she met several girls who were from the same city as her. They got along very well. When all of them returned from the trip, Melissa decided to organize a get-together and invited them to her house. The girls came with a big cake and lots of colorful balloons. But even before they touched the food or drinks, Melissa felt dizzy and lost consciousness. When the girl recovered, she was having a splitting headache. There was nobody around, and all her money and other valuables were missing. Melissa looked at the photos taken before she fainted. After examining them for a couple of minutes, she understood what had happened. Can you figure it out? There was sleeping gas in the balloons. The other girls must have put on face masks not to be affected by the gas. When Melissa lost consciousness, they took all her expensive stuff and left. Wow, time to get some better friends, huh? A mysterious disappearance. Stephen called the police and told him his wife Lisa was missing. She called her husband at 8 in the evening and told him she was about to go home, but she never arrived. The police questioned 3 suspects. Ashley, Lisa's best friend, said she had just returned from her vacation. Mark, the neighbor, was sure he'd seen Lisa in the afternoon, driving off in her car. And Paul, Lisa's colleague, told the police he'd spotted the woman in a shopping mall in the evening. Who's lying? Paul knows something about Lisa's whereabouts. The woman wasn't in the shopping mall that night. She was at a movie theater. A call to the police. Amanda was going through a deserted park when someone hit her on the head. When she recovered, her bag, along with her phone, money, and documents, were gone. There were no people around but for one elderly lady. Amanda rushed toward her, explained the situation, and asked to call the police. The lady told her not to worry and started to press 911 on her phone. After talking for a minute, she said, "They're going to be here in no time." As soon as Amanda heard these words, she sprinted off. Why? Amanda saw the lady's phone didn't have any signal. Then how could she call the police? A suspicious senior citizen. A date. Betty was on cloud 9 after 2 guys asked her out. But she felt she couldn't give hope to both of them. She had to choose one. Stephen was her secret crush. From a rich family, handsome and smart. She'd been dreaming about him for a year. John was a good guy too. She knew for sure he was kind and funny. The girl was at a loss. Which one should she pick? Any ideas? Betty should go for John. Stephen isn't serious about her. He has a lipstick mark on his neck, left there by Stanley. So yeah, better choose John. A bizarre code. Brian's friends invited him to spend the summer vacation in Europe with them. Unfortunately, the guy had serious study problems. To punish him, his dad took his passport away and locked it in a safe. The only way for Brian to get his documents and have some fun was to crack the code. Yeah, we still don't want to crack the books, huh? When he sneaked into his dad's study, he saw a piece of paper stuck to the safe. There were 3 drawings on it: a rose, a rainbow, a calico cat, and a banana. Brian thought for a while and then pressed 4 numbers. The code was correct and the safe opened. Which numbers were they? Two, 7, 3, 1. Each digit corresponds to the numbers of colors of the objects in the picture. An anxious husband. A man called the police. He could hardly talk. "My wife! She got into a car accident!" When the police arrived, the woman had been already rushed to a hospital. The detectives found out that she had crashed into a tree right next to her house. The car was beyond repair. One of the police officers examined the vehicle and saw the woman's bag. Inside, he found her driver's license and car keys, some money and bank cards, a notebook, and her passport. After that, the husband was immediately arrested. Why? How could the woman's car key be in her bag if she was driving? That's a good question. Noah was an alien on a mission to investigate human behavior on vacation. He landed near a popular sand beach in Malibu. Noah put on a special human-like costume and hid in the crowd. Special Agent Sam was sent to the beach to deal with this issue. Sam arrived and questioned people at the seaside. He warned them that aliens might look like humans, but no one seems to have noticed anything suspicious. Take a look at these vacationers. Which one of them is the alien? That's right, the guy on the left has 4 arms. Yeah, that's a clue. Agent Sam caught the alien, but Noah changed his appearance and managed to escape. Sam noticed a weird figure jumping inside a train. The man decided to stop the train to check all the passengers. Look at the picture attentively and help Sam find the alien. The old man in the right corner is the alien. He's holding a book upside down. Vicky was working on her laptop in a coffee shop. At one point, Vicky needed to go to the bathroom. She decided it'd be safe enough to leave her stuff unattended and headed to the bathroom. But when the girl returned, she found out that her backpack and her laptop were missing.
Oh, no.
Vicky ran outside and saw 3 elderly ladies with picnic baskets sitting in the park. The girl asked them if they had seen the thief, but all 3 of them assured her they hadn't noticed anyone. Ms. Green said she had just joined her friends. Ms. Smith was eating her sandwich and reading a newspaper, and Ms. Jackson was taking pictures of birds. Vicky called the police because she knew for sure who the thief was. How did she figure it out? Ms. Green stole Vicky's things. The red backpack strap is hanging out of her picnic basket. Paul stayed late at the library. When he finished studying, he headed home. As he was walking down the dark hallway, he heard a voice coming from the men's locker room. Paul noticed that someone had locked the door from the outside. Paul opened it and saw Tom. The guy had no idea who had locked him in. He went to the swimming pool, but it was closed that day, so he decided to go home. Suddenly, someone turned off the lights and locked him in. Paul promised to find the culprit. The next morning, he questioned his classmates. Courtney said she had been working on her project in the classroom. Josh said, "I swam in the pool for a while and then went to play basketball." Bob was with Courtney, but he left earlier to celebrate his granny's birthday with his family. Paul understood who was lying right away. What about you? It was Josh. The day before, the swimming pool was closed. Andrew is a photographer. He was walking alone in the wilderness and met a puma. The guy was very lucky and managed to escape, but he found out that his filter water bottle opened when he was running away from the animal. Now he didn't have any water left. Some time passed and Andrew got very thirsty. He had 3 options. The first one was to drink from a salty lake, the second to drink cactus juice, and the third option was to get water from a muddy stream. Help Andrew make the right choice. The third option is the least dangerous. You can't drink water from a salt lake, it won't quench your thirst. If Andrew drank cactus juice, he would get poisoned, but his filter bottle can easily clean muddy water. It has 13 hearts but no other organs. Ooh, what's the name of this creature? It's a deck of cards. What can you catch but never throw? A cold. A team of video bloggers headed to a famous haunted house to make a video about the mysteries hidden inside. When they arrived, they didn't see anything strange. The house didn't look creepy at all. The guys walked up to the building, but cameraman George turned around and refused to enter the house. His friends tried to convince him, but the guy insisted they should leave the area immediately. His friends ignored his warnings and entered the building. George was waiting for them in the street all night, but they never came out. Look at the picture and try to detect what was wrong with the house. Look at the ground. All footprints lead to the house, but there are no footprints leading away from the building. Ooh. I always run, but I never walk. I have a mouth, but I never talk. I have a head, but I never weep. What am I? That's right, I'm a river. How about this one? Do you see an L here? There it is! Now, find the only G in this mix. Good job! One more. Now your task is to spot a P. Bingo! It's hiding between 2 T's. Do you see there's a T here? Got it! Let's try it with numbers. Can you see a 5 here? Well done! One of these Z's is a 7. You have 5 seconds to locate it. There it is! Back to letters. Can you find a Y among these X's? Knew it! Nothing can hide from you. Nice handwriting. Can you find the stranger here? It's a B. Hope you got it. All I see here is a bunch of B's. Can you find the odd one out? Ah, it was a P right here. So many E's. Just one of them doesn't belong here. Sure, it's this letter here, which is an F. I saw a few of those in school. All these letters are G's except for one. Can you find it? Excellent! It's down here. One of these emojis looks more surprised than others. You have 5 seconds to tell which one. It's this little guy right here. One of these athletes clearly stands out of the crowd. Go get him! Oh, just one of them is a guy. Can you hear all that buzz? One of these bees must do it its own way because it looks different. Yay! Found it! Would you go by steamboat or row your way to your destination? While you're thinking about it, find the odd one out here. This looks like a cruise liner, so it doesn't belong here. Are you hungry for some snacks? Here's like 100 bananas for you. The one that looks different from the others is the most delicious. Can you find it? Yep, so yummy. You're doing so well here, you deserve some fireworks in your honor. Can you tell which of the emojis is the odd one out? This one looks slightly less festive than the rest. A lot is going on here. Can you find the one and only emoji of a tool a painter can't go without? Thanks, you just helped him out. I'm getting hungry for some soup. Will you please find it in here? Yay, so good! This game won't end well unless you find the bee and save everyone. Come here, little thing. Find somewhere else to play, please. It's the holiday season, and I really want to put a pink ribbon on that gift box. Will you help me find it? Thanks. Now my niece will love her gift. James left a folder with important documents on the table in his home office and went to a business meeting. When he returned, he found out that the documents had disappeared. James had 3 suspects. His brother said, "I've been swimming in the pool since you left. I haven't seen or heard anything." The cook replied, "Tomorrow we're having a party. I've been preparing the food." The security guard told James, "I've been outside all this time, checking the garden for mice." Who knows where the documents are? It's the security guard. His job description doesn't include pest control. An accident happened at a busy crossroads in a small town. The driver who caused the crash left in a hurry. Luckily, several witnesses managed to describe the car. The police officer headed to the suspect's house. There, he saw a car that looked exactly like the one from the description, but its owner claimed he had spent all day at home. The police officer understood the suspect was lying in no time. How? He touched the car hood. It was still hot from the engine that had worked not so long ago. Ben and his wife Sophia decided to go to the mountains. Ben got round-trip tickets, and the couple set off on a journey. On the third day there, Ben and Sophia were walking along a challenging trail high above the ground. They started to argue, and Sophia accidentally lost her footing and fell off the cliff. Ben had nothing to do but to return home on his own. As soon as he arrived, he called the police to report the accident. After that, he was arrested. Why? All accidents have to be reported immediately to the local police, and Ben wasted a lot of time to get back home and only then informed the authorities. You're walking along a railroad track. Suddenly, you see a speedy train dashing in your direction. Instead of getting off the track, you run towards the train. Only at the last minute you manage to jump aside. Why do you risk your life this way? When you notice the train, you're on a bridge. You can't leave the track right away and have to run to the closest place where you can do it. It took 5 years to build the tallest tower in the world. Every next year, the constructors doubled its height. How many years did it take for the tower to get half as tall as it is now? "4 years. If the builders doubled the height every year, the tower had to be half its final height a year before it was completed." Once Daniel found a coin that had a 10 BCE mark on it. The guy realized the thing had to be very old and valuable. Happy and excited, he took it to an expert. But the specialist didn't even agree to examine the coin. He told Daniel right away the thing was fake. How did he figure it out so fast? People who lived before the current era couldn't know there would be another era. That's why they couldn't make such marks on coins. James had a meeting with his university professor. It ran late, and when the guy was leaving the building, it was already dark. As he was walking along the deserted halls, he heard someone shout for help. The voice was coming from behind a locked lecture hall door. James managed to open it and found his groupmate Mike inside. In the afternoon, the guy wanted to get a book from the library, but it was closed. He was already leaving when he heard footsteps behind his back. When he came round, he was locked in. James figured out 3 suspects and interrogated them first thing in the morning. Matthew said he had left the campus right after the lectures. Emily replied she had been studying at the library all day long. Olivia met with her friends, and they were having lunch at the university canteen. James realized who was guilty right away. It was Emily. She couldn't study at the library because it was closed that day. You have 2 buckets of water. In the first bucket, the water is heated up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. In the second bucket, the water is cooled down to minus 100 degrees. You drop 2 coins into the buckets at the same time. Which coin will reach the bottom faster? It'll be the coin you threw into the warm water. The other won't sink at all. The water in the bucket is frozen. A man shaves every single day, but still has a thick, long beard. How come? The man is a barber. The talking pit. Ethan had an argument with his brother and decided to go back home. He didn't have a car and took a shortcut through the park. While walking, he fell into a pit. Ethan screamed for help, but nobody could hear him. Suddenly, a portal opened and threw a slice of pizza in his hands. A weird voice whispered, "Every time you say pizza, a pizza will fall out of the porthole." 2 minutes later, Ethan was out of the pit. How did he do it? He said pizza so many times that the pit got filled with them and he climbed out. The space disappearance. An astronaut was about to go on a spacewalk. He needed the OK from the Space Center on Earth, but the communications were down since 4 a.m. that morning. While waiting for someone to fix the problem, he vanished. Someone on the space station knew what happened, but who? Harry said that he was in his room sleeping. Nick said that he was reading a book on his bed. Jenna said she was talking to the Space Center down on Earth. Who is lying? You have 7 seconds to figure it out. It's Jenna. Their communications were down since that morning, and Nick couldn't get the OK to leave. Who is not poor? Jack, a hired private investigator, is looking for someone who is pretending to be poor to get free stuff at the local coffee shop. But everyone there has similar accessories, and it's hard to figure it out. Can you help? It's the lady in the gray suit. She holds car keys in her hands. Artificial intelligence. Alan made a smart home system that can be controlled from his phone. One night, someone got into his phone and tampered with the system. Alan was woken up by the TV, telling him to get out of the house. There were 3 doors that would lead him to the garage, but the system controlled all of them. Behind the first door, the temperature dropped to below 0. Behind the second door, the temperature rose so high that everything started to melt. Behind the third door, 2 large robots were trying to get any human being that walked past them. Which way should Alan go through? You have 7 seconds to help him. He should walk through the first door. The human body can handle freezing temperatures for a few minutes. The soda drink. Mark was walking to work when he got taken into a crazy chemist's basement. The scientist told him he had 2 bottles of soda for him. One is the real thing, and the other one is poison. Which one should Mark pick to stay alive? The second bottle. That cap on the first bottle seems to be unscrewed. Someone opened it. The crazy avocado incident. On Sunday, Mark, a hotel owner, called the police and said that the chef of his hotel tried to poison him. The night before, he gave him a fresh avocado to eat, and as soon as he took the first bite, he passed out. The police ran to investigate the scene, and the chef denied everything. They found the avocado on the floor, and they knew that the owner was lying. How did they know? The avocado was fresh. If he bit it last night, it would have been brown by now. The missing sculptures. After a huge exhibition, the owner walked in his gallery only to see the most expensive sculptures had been taken. They were all very heavy, and witnesses saw a red van leaving the scene. The police patrolled the area and saw 3 red vans heading in different directions. Which one should they follow? You have 7 seconds to decide. The second one. Since the sculptures are very heavy, the tires are deflating. Which dish should not be eaten? The Miller family hired a new chef. In his first dinner preparation, someone paid him to poison the father's food. There are 4 family members, and the chef prepared similar dishes, but with a special tweak for each of them according to their tastes. Alice, the daughter, doesn't eat meat. John, the father, loves junk food. Mark, the brother, likes to eat sweet things during dinner. Jane, the mother, loves vegetables. Which dish should John avoid to save his life? You've got 7 seconds. It's the one with French fries as a side dish. The fish is for Alice. There's a piece of cake next to Mark's plate, and Jane's plate has the most veggies. The coffee shop incident. Jake is a coffee shop owner. On his way to the bank to make a deposit, a lady stopped him and took his money. When the police showed up, he told them the woman who took his briefcase scratched him with the ring she was wearing. Jake said he didn't see her face. She was wearing a mask, gloves, and a red suit. The police didn't believe him and took Jake to the station for further interrogation. Why? How did the suspect scratch him with a ring when she was wearing gloves? The police found out a diamond smuggler was going to leave the country through the largest airport in the city. They didn't know who it was and where this person was flying. That's why they searched the baggage of everyone who was departing on that day. Most people were angry and nervous, but one man was calm and polite. The airport security officers didn't find anything suspicious in his suitcase. But after the man got the sticker checked on his baggage, police asked him to come with him. They suspected he was the smuggler they were looking for. How did they understand it? While the security officer was putting the sticker on his suitcase, the man surreptitiously put his coat inside. The diamonds must be hidden in this coat. Mr. Carter, a rich man who collected antiques, asked Detective Morris to visit him. When the detective arrived, the collector said, "I've just got a precious statuette, but I need to go away on business for a week, and I'm afraid someone will break into my house. My neighbors are so suspicious." Of course, the statuette is insured, but still. Detective Morris had some other urgent things to do. He promised to come back in the evening to figure out how to deal with the situation. But when he arrived several hours later, Mr. Carter rushed to him. "I was away for an hour, no more. I drove my sister to the doctor, but when I came back, the statuette was gone." Detective Morris didn't believe the collector. Why? When he left the house in the afternoon, he noticed an apple lying in front of the left part of the gate. It's still there. But for a car to drive through, both parts of the gate have to be open. This means that Mr. Carter lied about leaving his home by car. Laura took part in an experiment. She was locked in a room and had to crack a riddle to get out of it. On the table, she found a note with the numbers 11, 69, 96, and 88. The girl needed to figure out what they had in common. Can you do the same? All these numbers can be read in the same way if you position them upside down. A man on a motorbike crashed Mr. Ruby's store window, grabbed a dozen expensive watches, and drove away. When the police arrived, Mr. Ruby told them he was almost sure it had been his nephew, Patrick. The officers went to visit the guy. Because of a heavy downpour, they got there in only an hour. Patrick was at home, together with his friend. "Look at the weather! I haven't been outside since yesterday." Patrick's friend confirmed his words. But the police didn't believe this story and arrested Patrick. Why? The guy's helmet is hanging on his motorbike. If it had been there since the previous day, it would be filled with rainwater now. Look at these two girls and their fridges. One of them has never had enough money until recently. A month ago, she won the lottery. Which girl is that? It's the girl on the left. High heels, a flashy dress, and a fridge filled to the brim. She looks like a person who has finally managed to get their hands on big money. Look at these people lounging near a swimming pool. They all seem to be wealthy, but in fact only one of them is a millionaire. girl sitting under the palm tree is wearing a lot of gold jewelry. But all this gold is fake. It leaves greenish marks on her body. The girl walking past the swimming pool is wearing sandals with a large logo on them. But the name of this brand is written wrong, so it's fake. The guy who's lying on the floating mattress is playing a game on his phone. But instead of an apple, there's a strawberry on his gadget. The man who's watering the plants is the millionaire we're looking for. There's a Mercedes keychain hanging out of his pocket. He also left a $100 tip for the waiter. Ethan and his girlfriend Anne went to explore a cave and got lost. After some time, they came across two people, a man and a woman. The man, bearded and rough-looking, had a shovel in his hands. "I've been stuck here for a week. I know how to get to the surface, but I need your help. Come with me." The young woman exclaimed, "Don't trust him. He's a criminal. Follow me. I've been here longer than him. I know where the exit is." Who should the guys believe? Ethan and Anne decided to follow the man. If the girl had been in the cave for more than a week, why does she look so tidy and has fresh flowers in her hair? Several gold bullion bars were stolen from a bank. The police figured out where they could be and who could take them. Without wasting time, they arrived at the main suspect's house. But since they were in a hurry, they forgot to bring a warrant. The man told them he wouldn't allow them to search his house. "Come back with a warrant and we'll talk." An hour later, the police officers came back with the needed document. They thoroughly searched the house and garden but didn't find the gold. Suddenly, one of the officers exclaimed, "I know where he hid the gold." Have you figured it out? The gold is in the swimming pool. When the police visited the man for the first time, the level of water in it was lower. One day, a famous soccer coach went missing right from the locker room. The detective has 3 suspects, and all of them are from the coach's team. Brandon says that after training, he stayed on the pitch to practice a bit more. He hasn't been to the locker room yet. Andrew swears that straight after the training, he went outside to meet with his girlfriend. And James claims that when he was leaving the locker room, the trainer was still there. Who is the criminal? It's Andrew. He said he hadn't been to the locker room yet, but he's wearing not the uniform, but his street clothes. 5 people were asked to step over a pencil that was lying on the floor, but for some reason, none of them managed to do it. Have you figured out why? The pencil was placed near the wall. How tricky.
Let's start with something easy to warm up in the fruit category. Black plus bear. It's a blackberry, of course. Moving on. It's an apple, just as good as a pill. How about this one? Did you guess it was a mango? Next, please. Star and kiwi. Well, kiwi stands for any fruit here, so it's a star fruit. Let's see if you can figure this one out. It's a pear. Knew it.